What's up, Fish Tank TV? This is boy Fish Tank, bringing you a Tutorial Tuesday right here. Yes, Tutorial Tuesday is back, and I will be doing some every now and again because it's just fun to do, So I will maybe make some Tutorial Tuesdays on the saltwater, but for now I will keep Tutorial Tuesdays on freshwater. Anyways, guys, let's talk about what Cichlids to buy for beginners, because I get a lot of questions about that, and I remember I got a lot of questions about that as well, but I still do. And there are actually some few fish that you shouldn't buy as a Cichlid beginner, because they are very sensitive to water parameters and stuff like that. So yeah, let's get over some fish that you must not buy as a beginner. For example, the Frontosa is definitely not something I can recommend for a beginner. Number one, because people usually don't have the right size tank for them. Maybe some beginners will go for a 30-gallon tank and they'll just go on from there, but a Frontosa needs at least a 45-gallon, I would say. And when they get to very bigger adult size, a 75-gallon will probably be good, because they get very big. They're also very sensitive, and they don't eat that much food. They're very shy fish, and they're generally just not something that I can recommend for beginners. But when you're an advanced cichlid keeper, I can definitely recommend Frontosas, because those are the best cichlids ever, in my opinion. I mean, just look at this guy. He's amazing. Another fish that I can recommend is the German Red. The reason being that they are very aggressive fish, and people typically, new beginners typically can't deal with that, so they'll probably lose a couple of fish. And I recommend that you know a lot about the hierarchy before you get a German Red, because sometimes he'll be in the bottom and sometimes he'll be in the top. It's kind of different, but it's just not something that I generally would recommend. Because you also need females for them, because females are very good for them, because yeah, that's just a way for them to calm down. Anyways, let's talk about fish that you can keep for beginners. The first one I can recommend is this guy, the Kenyai. Probably one of the most beautiful fish in this tank. He's also one of the easiest fish to care for. They're very hardy, they breed a lot, and they actually breed very easily. However, I do not have any Kenyai females anymore. They both died. But I think they got too old. I don't really know why they died. But anyways, this guy is doing amazing. They are, oh man, he's going fast around. You can see he's chasing the fish a lot. That's because he's the boss of the tank, this tank now. So he's just chilling around here. He eats a lot of food. And he accepts every single food. I can even feed him table shrimp, and he'll still eat it. All my cichlids do, although they just love table shrimp. Anyways, it's just, I think Kenyais are very easy to care for, not because I do know that the aggression level is quite high on Kenyais. However, they're not very sensitive, and they're very hardy. You can just make a species tank, and you will get like a really good hierarchy that is very stable, but you will also get some very hardy cichlids for your beginner aquarium. The next fish that I can recommend is the yellow lab, this guy right here. These guys are very easy to care for, mainly because they don't get that big, but also because they are Mbuna, and Mbuna are generally more easy to keep, I would say, because yeah, they just are a little bit more hardy. You can also keep many of these together, and they'll like school together. It looks really cool. Also, they do eat algae from the rocks, since they're a Mbuna, so they're very easy to feed. You can even feed them seaweed, I've heard that they love seaweed. I haven't personally tried it myself. I probably have to do that sometime. But they do like to eat seaweed, and they eat like wafers, but they also eat a little bit of meaty foods. They eat pretty much anything that you can think of. And then the next cichlid I can recommend is the Johanni cichlid, which is behind this Kenya right here. These guys are amazing. I've kept many different types of these guys, and they're just awesome. I mean, they work very good in your tank, and they'll keep themselves in the bottom of the hierarchy, and they'll just look really gorgeous. You can see those colors. He's amazing. I mean, very beautiful fish. So Johanni cichlid is definitely something I can recommend, but again, it's Mabuna, so they need more vegetable foods. So remember that. Arotis, Melanochromis arotis. Melanochromis arotis are some fish that I actually have bred. This is my male. However, both of my females died because this guy is crazy. He chases around them and stuff like that. The males look a little bit like this. Some are more bluish and some are more gray. But the females look like, let me just show you. I haven't actually turned on my lights in this tank. I should do. Alright, let me see here. The females look like this. The fry will always look like this. But you know, these are my Arotis fry. They're very easy to care for. Even the fry are not sensitive at all. They eat anything. But again, these fish are Mabuna, so they will eat vegetable foods. But they're very fun to breed. They're easy to breed. They are the only cichlids I've bred. And I think that they are very, very fun to breed and very, very good looking fish that I can recommend for everybody's tanks. I mean, get some Arotis. I do not understand that people don't have Arotis in their tanks. It must be crazy. Anyways, another fish that I can recommend is the Venustus cichlid right here. These guys are Haplochromis, so they will eat, you know, anything from like vegetable foods to meaty foods. It doesn't really matter. You can give them anything, they'll eat it. And you know, it's just, yeah, they just eat everything really. And they get very big, and they look a lot like some predatory fish, even though they really aren't. You can see my Kenya chases him around. He wants to be the boss. Funny enough, nobody chases my Frontosa right there. But anyways, let's get to another fish which are more average. For beginners, for cichlids. I mean, the blue ali right here is it's not something that I can recommend for beginners, because they're like, I just don't think they're very hardy. I think they're pretty sensitive, because I can see whenever the water parameters get bad in this aquarium, he gets really like dizzy, and he's very tired all the time and stuff like that, and that's a sign that he's pretty sensitive. I do not know if it's just mine. You can see he gets chased all the time because he isn't at the top of the hierarchy. He was beautiful once. He was all like dark blue, and he was like beautiful, but he isn't anymore. I do not know why, but he got that bright yellow stripe, funny enough. And another fish that I wouldn't recommend for beginners, but for average fish keepers, is the Compressiceps right here. They are pretty, I would say they're pretty hardy, but you know, they are very shy fish, and they really like plants actually. So if you can get a tank full of plants, you know, Anubias, Java Fern, whatever you can get, they will love to hide in it, and they just love plants. I have had many plants in this tank before, and he just loved them. So I kept some Limnophilus Flora for a decent amount of time before they got teared apart, and this guy actually was hiding in them all the time, and that was a way for him to get in cover from the boss of the tank, because he was constantly chasing him down. Now, this guy's not on the top of the hierarchy, so he doesn't have very bright colors, but Compressiceps usually have like orange, reddish, and purple, and blue, and they're just very, very beautiful fish. And that silver color and gray color, they look amazing. They have an amazing pattern on their colors when they're fully colored up. So yeah guys, that is this video. I hope you guys like this freshwater video. If you want more freshwater videos coming up, please like this video and comment and subscribe. So yeah, see you guys in another video.